are ready to go.
Oh, should I bring my drink too?
Yeah, get your drink.
Okay.
Perfect. Cheers.
Cheers.
We are here today with Katie Bean. She is the author of Fraglie Thoughts. Katie, welcome. Thanks for coming here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
It's really fun already.
We gotta set this up so everybody can see it.
Yeah, cool.
So, would you mind just telling everyone who you are, what this book is about, and anything you want them to know?
Cool. Hi, everyone. So happy to be here. My name's Katie Bean, and I wrote Fraglie Thoughts, a healing memoir, in 2023 is when it came out.
Wow.
And I've really been writing it my whole life, though, because I've been a writer my whole life, and I've been using that as like a healing tool throughout my whole life. I've been a journaler. I've had diaries as a kid, you know, that
Did
kind
they
of
have
thing.
locks on them? Mine did.
They definitely had locks on them. They definitely were hidden all over my room, under this bed, in this box, in this closet, you know. And I still have so many of them in my basement. Like I have them in a tub full of them.
Wow.
Some of them I burned.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's also a thing.
I'm just thinking, I'm like, yeah, I got rid of a lot.
Yeah, a lot I got rid of,
I can't
but a
have
lot
people
I kept.
reading things that I wrote.
Well, and it's funny that I kept a lot of them because, well, it's helpful that I kept a lot of them because when I was writing this for publishing and I was looking back at my life, I was able to look back at these old journals and see what I was really feeling at the moment when various things happened in my life. So that actually was pretty neat to like reread decades later.
Wow.
So fun thing to try. If you have old diaries, go check them out and see what you were thinking back then.
So who should read this book?
Anyone who is on a healing journey, anyone who has stuff that they want to work through, because the book at the end of every chapter has journal prompts for you to also dissect your own story and kind of write your own kind of origin story. And so anyone on a healing journey, anyone who likes to journal, anyone who loves book clubs, it's made for book clubs. It was birthed out of a book club, actually. And so in the book club that I run, it's called a learning circle, and it's basically a book club with a self-study twist. And you know, we read whatever we read, but then we dive into our own histories and experiences using the author's story as like a jumping off point. And so in those learning circles that I started in 2021, you know, we would read something, we would journal together, we would share, we practice some yoga activities together, meditation, mindfulness, that kind of thing. And the power of that together really created this book.
That's what I was going to say. So that was before you wrote the book.
It was before I wrote the book. And it was life-changing, these learning circles that we were doing. For myself, for others. Yeah. It was powerful. And so I was like, let me try to reach more people, right? Help more people. And so now I have it in a book format where read it. You have journal prompts at the end of every chapter. You have yoga-based activities at the end of every chapter. You can go through it yourself. You can partner with a friend.
This should be for sale at every yoga studio.
It should be.
Have like a little,
let's make that happen.
Yeah, like a little stand.
Yeah,
absolutely. If you get a membership, then you get a book.
Oh, thank you for that marketing tip. I'm going to look into that.
There's a yoga place right down the street from here.
Ooh, okay.
I don't remember what it's called. I should know that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it's built for, and it's built for community, because yes, you can go through the book on your own. And that's great, but then sharing it with someone else or having discussion, that is the magic. It truly is.
Whether it's like one person you're talking to or a group of people, it's better to do it. You don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Basically.
Exactly.
I think it's hard when you're trying to sort out. Even though writing them down, I think, helps you sort out things.
Yes.
But then vocalizing, and
yes,
actually conversing about them, that's where
it's that vulnerability, that sharing, that it helps us realize we're not alone, helps us connect with others, which is really, I think, the purpose of all of our lives, right? Is to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really powerful thing, but I do believe writing first, before sharing, is really helpful, so that you can really get to know what you're feeling, or even be able to put some space between you and your experience. And when you're able to do that, I think you can see it more clearly, and then you can share in a way that's more helpful for yourself and others, rather than just diving right into the sharing. Do you see what I'm saying? So the writing is actually a really critical part of that.
Sense. I'm going to need to do this exercise. I'll be writing when you leave, answering all the prompts. So did you experience something in your own life that brought you, like, what was your thing that you needed to heal?
Yeah,
because everybody has one. Like,
we've
when
all
we're
got
like,
stuff.
who should read this? It's like, everybody.
Everybody.
Don't lie, because I know there's something. You know?
Yeah, so there's a few, it goes through my life up until 40, because that's when I published the book. So it starts with, I had a speech impediment as a kid, so I was made fun of a lot and like couldn't be comfortable with my voice, and so I felt like I couldn't make friends. And again, connection is what we all want in life. So that was a tough point for me. Finally, you can tell now, I don't have a speech impediment anymore. And I haven't been able to stop talking since 6th grade when I graduated from speech therapy. But so that was a big part of like being a kid, and then dealt with sexual assault. Being raped in college was probably the pinnacle of trauma that I have experienced. There's also all of the body image, dealing with trying to find a partner and a soulmate, being single in my 20s through my 30s. So like there's a lot of just like figuring out who I am. Spirituality was a big component of the book. So I'd say all big and small, like a lot of things that a lot of people deal with.
Yeah, and thank you for vocalizing all of that, because a lot of people don't. Yeah. Or, keep it in, or are scared, or don't want to be judged, or feel shameful, or all this stuff. So I think it's really important for people to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. And I can't imagine how many people you're helping with the book.
I mean, I hope so. That's really the whole point.
I mean, even if you just change one person's life, that's a win. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like the more space I've had, so, I was raped when I was 19, and I'm 41 now, so there's a lot of space there. There was a lot of time to heal. Yeah. But some of the ways, the techniques, I was able to process that. I went to therapy, of course, but I was writing the whole time. I was writing, and in therapy, my therapist, actually, because she knew I liked to write, gave me these different prompts that I put in the book that really opened my eyes. So, for example, instead of just writing about the experience of something, tragic that happened, she would tell me to rewrite it the way I wished it would have happened.
Oh, interesting.
There was a lot of guilt. There was a lot of shame. There was a lot of blaming myself. And when I rewrote it, either in third person, that's another technique, makes you feel more objective, builds empathy for yourself in the story, or when I rewrote it with like a better, happier ending, for example, it helped me kind of accept what happened, realize that how I handled things was actually the safest for myself at the time. Yeah. I froze. That's how I handled it. And I blamed myself for years for that. It was really I was really ashamed that I didn't punch somebody in the face or run away or scream, but I didn't. But after writing and processing, I realized I actually did what was safest for me at the time in that moment. Right. And I don't think I would have gotten there unless I was writing these stories, these other ways of thinking about the situation.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So I thank my therapist for giving me those prompts.
Thank God.
And they're here, so you can also try to write those prompts too.
Yeah. No, this is sounds like it's a honest to God life-changing book, and congratulations for writing it, because it's a huge deal. And I say it on every single podcast that I do, but I, from the bottom of my heart, like, am so impressed when authors come in here and they're like, here's this finished project that I wrote from within my soul, like that, and published it. Like, that is huge for putting this out there for the world to say. I'm getting conversation on it.
No, and isn't that cover beautiful?
It is
I was
beautiful.
so
How did
impressed
you do
with
this?
it. Well, there was an artist at the publishing company that did it. She was absolutely fabulous. My vision for it was the ripple in the water is like every action that we take has a ripple effect. Yes. But then this is kintsugi. You know what kintsugi is? It's Japanese art when you like break a pottery and you put it back together with gold. Have you ever seen those? Yes. So this is supposed to look like kintsugi. Yeah. Wow. So it's like I'm put back together with gold, and now like,
I love this so much.
Feel, like a whole new masterpiece rather than, broken. Oh, and that's the bookmark where I have kintsugi on it to kind of showcase that.
I love this. So where can this book be bought for people listening? Because I know we're going to sell some of these.
I hope so. So it is on Amazon. That's probably the easiest place. If you're local, I live in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, so it's at Reed's and Company bookstore. It's at the Phoenixville Library. I'm working on trying to get it in other libraries, so I'm going to try to get it into Kent Square's library.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I'll do that right after this.
You should. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's Barnes & Noble, and I'm working on the audiobook as we speak.
Well, are you reading it?
I'm reading it.
Wow, that's so cool. How do you even do something like that?
Yeah, so gratefully I have an amazing friend who is a voice actor and owns her studio. Her name's Rachel Brennan. And so she's my producer, and we've been having a ball doing this. It's been so crazy fun. Actually, because it's such a it's a whole, how do I even describe it? When I was a kid with a speech impediment and couldn't talk, and here I am recording my voice. It's wild.
I got the chills.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And it's almost done. It'll be out in the next month, I think.
My God.
So I've recorded all of it, and now we're in the production
So where will you put
phase.
it out? On audiobook?
It'll be on Audible, Spotify, and Libby, which is the I'm making sure that it's available on Libby for library access. Yeah.
Wow.
I just want more people to have access to it.
Yeah. As they should.
Yeah.
Everybody should have it.
Yeah.
Are you going to give these out as Christmas presents to everybody? That's what I would be doing. I would be like, here you go, Aunt Baba, you need this book.
Well, I'm
Uncle
so
John,
grateful.
Here you go.
Most of my family already bought it, so they're so sweet. I've had such, support. Yeah. So, we do like a Pollyanna within our family every Christmas with like the large family.
Yeah.
And my husband and I joked we were gonna like wrap up 2 of them.
Yeah, I would.
That'd be the Pollyanna. I didn't, but
I'd be like leaving. Yeah. If I was an author, I would just be like leaving one everywhere I go.
I've done that a little bit.
Yeah, you have to.
It's interesting because some people are like, oh, you got to get sales. I'm like, no, I just want as many people as possible to read this thing. Like, I will just give it to libraries. I will just, you know what I mean? I just want it available.
I was actually, Joe Piazza came to our book club last week, and I just asked her, like, what would you do? I was actually asking for myself. This is a little selfish. But I was asking, basically, if you're a new author and I want to start this, like, ginormous book club, I have a goal of 10,000 people.
Oh, my gosh. Amazing.
I need 9,970 more people to go. But I was like, what would you do? Like, what's your advice? And her advice was just, like, hit the pavement. And she talked a lot about micro relationships, which I really just thought that was, like, the key and made so much sense for me. Mm-hmm. Because in real estate, it's all about, and that's, for those of you who don't know, I'm a realtor. In my free time, I spend it in bed with authors. But that's the thing. It's just these little relationships that build into something bigger. Like the person that you're going to talk to at the library is going, tell somebody else to read it or blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah,
it's
I've
not
already
one
seen
whole
that.
big thing.
Breaking outside of your own bubble is what they talk about a lot through my publishing company. Like, yes, you can sell to everyone you know, but then you have to break outside your bubble. So I've done things like book signings at Barnes & Noble and book signings at different community events. If people are close to Conshohocken, my book's also out at the Artist Loft in Conshohocken. And so they've hosted some events with authors. I've done signings there. And I've met people walking down the street, talked with them, they bought a book, and then afterwards they've reached out.
So cool. And
said, wow, I couldn't put it down. This was amazing. This helped me so much. One even said, I think you wrote about my life. And I was like, oh my gosh. It just makes me...
like that right there makes it all worth it.
It is. It does.
Do you take your pictures of the books in the bookstore? Because I would be freaking out. Like, to see it on a shelf, that's surreal.
Yes. The first time I found it on a shelf was a wild experience. I was with my husband and my nephew. We were watching him, and he was probably 11 at the time. And I was like, oh my God, here it is. Like, and I was like, I need to video this moment. Like, it's crazy that, like, I should have just been more present in the moment, but I do have a video of my nephew recording me being like, it's right here.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I can always look back on that. Now, it was a cool experience.
Do you have anything, are you writing anything for the future? Or
this is the only book that is in my soul to give out to the world. I don't envision any other books.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I've written
that's cool to hear.
Short stories. I've written, like, for myself, I've written like a murder mystery thing. I don't think I would ever want to publish it. Like, this is the book.
Yeah. I just envision you just taking this to a whole nother level with your retreats.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I hope that I can reach as many people as possible. I like your goal. I'm going to say now, I want to reach 10,000 people with this book. That's a good goal to have.
Yeah.
Hosting retreats, doing the learning circles, which are monthly. I'm on Substack too, so I've been blogging and writing newsletters on Substack and, trying to reach people there too. So yeah, just trying to help people, empower people to heal.
And I like that it's like an action-based
It is.
type book too.
Right. I mean, no one can ever heal their traumas just by waiting.
If you're in a book club, you need to take a chance, and because I think some people are scared. But
no, it's not easy.
Vulnerable,
it's not easy work.
This is a great pick.
That's right.
Or get a circle that you trust.
Yes.
And do it with your girlfriends or whomever.
Yeah.
Or guy friends, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you already have a book club, or if you want to come together with a group of strangers, like I did with my first learning circle, which is kind of wild to think about. That first learning circle that we did in 2021, I didn't know anyone in it. I worked with one woman, like peripherally, but I didn't know anyone else. And we are now, because of the power of this kind of trilogy of healing techniques, right? If we would write together, practice yoga together, and share in community. And we have built such strong relationships that, they're my best friends now to this day.
Wow. I picture you doing like TED Talks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, really.
I mean, that'd be really cool.
I could see it.
Yeah?
I'm not kidding. Yeah, this is such a big deal.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. What else do you want the people to know?
There's poetry in there too. So I've been writing poetry my whole life. And so if you're into that, there's like, I kind of went back through I found poetry that I wrote when I was 10 and, different ages, and tried to share, this is what I was feeling at the time. So I would like share some poetry from those times. So I don't know if people like poetry, that's another part of it.
And what are you doing today? What's your life look like today?
Well, today I have off so that I could be here, which is
cool.
great. But normally I have my day-to-day, I work at a local college, and I work in the wellness health promotion arena. So I get to talk to college students
and you need to sell every student a book. They're like, Katie, stop it. No.
No, I mean, I get to talk with them about making healthy choices.
Yeah, what a great person to have there.
Yeah, and college is an interesting time, right? That was a pinnacle of difficulty in my own life. And it was also a time where I think I learned the most. And for most people, it's a big growth time. Figure out who you are, trying to figure out who you want to be. So I love working with people at that age, at that spot in their life.
They need that.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. I was so bad in college. I actually, all of my friends went to Westchester. Mm-hmm. I did not. I just lived there with them.
Oh, okay.
And people just thought that I went there. I didn't tell anybody, and I was just there for the party. So that was not my best time.
Right.
Which I got out of it, and here I am today.
And here you are, successful
it would have been
woman.
nice to have someone like you around back then.
It's funny because I needed me too. And I think that's, one of those quotes of like, be the person you needed when you were younger. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, well, your younger self would be so proud.
I'm so proud. Especially that she could be speaking this clearly right now.
Yeah, really. One question I've been asking everybody is, if you could stay here with any other author, dead or alive, who would you choose?
Brene Brown.
Wow, right away.
Right away.
Immediately.
Brene, please come.
We need you.
I am obsessed with her work, her writings, all of her books. I mean, you've read some of her stuff.
That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking TED Talk.
Yeah? Oh, because her TED Talks are amazing. She is just, her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, highly recommend. That book,
I didn't read that one.
Oh. And I actually, I work with peer educators on my campus. When my seniors graduate, I usually gift them that book. Because that book is the book. If I could recommend one book to anyone ever, it's like the book, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Check it out. So, I'd love to just pick her brain and chat with her. And
that would be such a good one.
Yes.
I would come crash that.
I imagine we'd be up all night talking about the brain and,
She's
all of her research. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great. And I actually sent her a book.
No way.
I mailed her a copy.
Good. Did she respond?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mailed her a copy with a note and said, you're an inspiration. She's actually in my my thank yous at the end of the book, like thank you for inspiring me.
Renee.
So come on.
Do you think it got lost in the mail?
Maybe. I sent one to
How do you
Glennon Doyle
know?
too. She's another amazing author. You know Glennon Doyle's
No.
work? Oh, I love her. Untamed was her book.
Oh
You
yeah,
know that.
I did read that. Yeah.
Mhm. That was the very first book
Yeah.
we used in our learning circle in 2021.
Oh.
That's when that book came out.
Is that learning circle still the same people?
No, it's open to anyone. It rotates. It's whoever joins each month. We have a
Nice.
limit
And where do you
of
have it?
12 people every month because you need to have it to be small enough to be
Okay. Yeah.
and it's on Zoom. Open to anyone in the world. Come join.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so easy. So
Yeah.
how can people get in contact with you? What's your Instagram?
Instagram is Katie Bean Wellness.
Okay.
That's all my platforms, so you can find,
Okay.
all of the channels. Even Substack is Katie Bean Wellness, and I have a website, beanagentforchange.com or Bean Agent for Change.
So smart.
Isn't that
That's
fun?
so good, yeah.
It just makes me giggle every time I say
That's
it.
so
I'm like,
good.
that's amazing. Bean,
Yes.
Agent for Change, the number 4 change. So check it out. You can sign up for learning circles. You can buy my book through the website, directly, but like check out Amazon, Barnes and Noble,
And
wherever.
we'll link all of that here too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I like being in bed with you.
Me too. I never want to get out. Always get so cozy.
That was really fun.
Yeah.